Things are heating up in Landman Season 2, and Episode 7 brings laughter, tension, shocking truths, and emotional reflections all packed into one wild ride. From Tommy's hilarious mess-ups to major revelations about the offshore drilling disaster, this episode gives us humor, heartbreak, and high stakes all at once. So, what really went down next after Episode 6? Let's dive right in. Previously in Episode 6, Cooper made one of the biggest decisions of his life. He chose to marry Ariana. He'd already gained approval from her father, Mr. Barrera, and while Tommy warned him to tread carefully, he didn't try to stop the young couple. Angela, on the other hand, couldn't be happier. She was so thrilled she even offered Cooper her own wedding ring, so he wouldn't have to spend a fortune. But before proposing, Cooper had to face one more challenge. Ariana's ex-mother-in-law, Isabella. Thankfully, Cooper's honesty and vulnerability won her over, giving him the final blessing he needed. While love was blooming there, Rebecca and Charlie were stepping into a complicated new phase. Not quite love, not quite business, more like a professional situationship. Rebecca desperately needed Charlie to take charge of the offshore drilling project to protect MTEX from accusations of insurance fraud, even though she was also developing feelings for him. Meanwhile, funding the project was already a nightmare. Since accessing MTEX's locked funds would take time, Cammy was ready to partner with Dan, something Tommy strongly opposed. With technology and AI rapidly changing the oil industry, Tommy was left questioning whether to fight back or walk away and focus on family. Now, Episode 7 picks up and immediately throws us into chaos, the funny kind. Tommy and Angela's weekend in Fort Worth doesn't exactly stay romantic very long. Tommy manages to embarrass himself spectacularly by flashing the hotel staff. Angela is furious, and instead of handling it maturely, Tommy cracks ridiculous jokes, including one involving her omelet, and completely destroys the moment. The car ride afterward? Dead silent. Thomas senses attention, but he's smart enough to stay quiet. Ainsley tries to break the awkwardness, but doesn't get far. When Angela storms off at the airport, flipping Tommy the bird before boarding, the kids finally realize just how bad things are. Once they're gone, Thomas cautiously asks what's going on, and Tommy responds by ranting about the omelet incident, like it's the most normal thing in the world. The dry humor and totally straight-faced reactions make this scene unintentionally hilarious, and the comedy doesn't stop there. While driving later, Thomas desperately needs to use the bathroom. Tommy refuses to pull over, until Thomas threatens to go right there on the truck seat. That's when Tommy finally slams the brakes and gives in. Classic father-son chaos. Meanwhile, Rebecca and Charlie share a quieter, but far more serious, moment. After some playful flirting, they dive straight into business. Rebecca wants Charlie to walk Tommy, Cammy, and the rest of the executives through the offshore gas situation and explain how they might salvage the project. But Charlie drops a bombshell. He admits he can explain the procedure, but he can't promise success. Rebecca is stunned. She assumed Hurricane Francine caused the disaster. Charlie breaks it down logically. Hurricanes stay at the surface. They don't affect underground reservoirs, meaning the damage excuse might be nothing but a cover-up. The ugly truth? It's very likely the rig was already built in a terrible spot with weak output potential. And when the truth surfaced, the hurricane was conveniently blamed. Monty may have tried to cash out through insurance instead of admitting the mistake. Now Blanton's team has brought in lawyers, and MTEX is cornered. If they invest another $400 million into drilling again and still get nothing, the company will drown in debt. Charlie promises to try, maybe even find a better drilling point. But he refuses to give Rebecca false hope. Then we shift to MTEX employee housing, where Ben and Russ wake up to roaring engines and booming music. Their Mexican co-workers are gearing up for a massive lowrider car celebration, meaning if Ben and Russ don't hit the road fast, they'll be trapped. Why are they in such a rush? Because Boss is throwing a huge barbecue to celebrate his bonus payout. The party is lively. Everyone's there except Jerrell. We learn he's finally out of the hospital, but his eyesight remains uncertain after the H2S gas incident. It's a bittersweet update. Dale eventually joins the party too, gifting boss a Rolex Daytona Panda to commemorate 20 years of surviving the brutal oil industry. Instead of pure joy, the moment hits boss hard. The watch doesn't spark celebration. It sends him spiraling into memories of every near-death experience, every scar, every harsh reality of his life. It's emotional, heavy, and incredibly human. This episode blends comedy, truth bombs, and raw emotion in a surprisingly powerful way. We get humor from Tommy's disasters, massive revelations from Charlie, and deep reflection from Boss. It's an episode that slows the action but builds emotional stakes, clearly setting the stage for something much bigger ahead. And that wraps up episode 7. From hilarious father-son moments to heartbreaking truths about the drilling project and emotional reflections at the barbecue, this episode delivers a perfect mix of comedy and intensity. What did you think? Was this emotional slowdown refreshing, or do you want the show to jump straight back into chaos? Let me know in the comments. If you enjoyed this breakdown, hit like, subscribe for more Landman recaps, and turn on notifications so you never miss an update. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.